Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Makombe, and I'm the lead panelist today. And in association with Shumba and Mija, we are bringing you the product or the Ngatitange Panyon by Sorry.
I didn't get it, man. Okay, all right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Champions Television Network. As usual, today I'm joined by my colleagues, Shumba and Mija, who are going to help me debate on what we call the Sungai Mbavu program today. We are going to focus and talk about virtually anything and everything. BMWP, we are going to call it. Beer, meat, and women. And politics. We're going to explore events of the day, futuristic events, from the common lady who's stealing from another lady, the activities being executed by Trump, Zimbabwean politics, European politics, and so on and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Champions TV.
Thank you very much, Boss T. Shumba, zvenge zvakadii kwenyu kunasi?
Kuri nani ameno kwenyu Misha.
Nhasi ndaswera hangu ndiri panapa, asi nezuro ndakambofamba mumaraini ndichisvika munzvimbo dzinenge dzakati nakei, sezvizvi zvekuti takutaura taamusama manje.
Okay, inga munogara kwakabudirira ne.
Unobva watongozviona kuti ezvinezvi yanguva yesamba.
Misha ndo imba yenyu here Misha?
Misha ava kutai.
Kumaraini. Kumaraini kuno.
Aiwa zvinokudzwa.
Kana njiva chaidzo dzinenge dzakutoona kutoti kuri yasama madzono dzichimbururuka.
Guys, there's an issue in kupresa drug addiction. Mtoriro, guys. Things have gone out of hand. Especially by the end.
It can lead to respiratory failure, heart problems, strokes, liver, and kidney damage. That's not all. It can drain your resources and leave you bankrupt. It gives you social isolation, mental health problems, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. It is crime and violence. It is time for us to take a stand. Let's educate ourselves, our families, and our communities about the dangers of this. We must be concerned about the well-being of our youth. To those who are profiting from selling red, I ask, what is the value of a human life? Is it worth the money you're making? Let's call it what it is, wickedness. Let's join forces to protect our youth and our communities, saying no to red.
Right, crystal meth. Where is it coming from, guys?
I think I need to make a research on it. I know because I've been in the system helping people. I work in mental health, so I know these problems with addiction. So
substance misuse,
yeah, it's sad. It is sad because in Africa we never used to have such issues of people used to abuse drugs, but we had our own sort of
Yeah, well, you certainly have all sort of mbanje and
Mbanje and
nothing
all.
more than that.
Yeah,
Now, certainly with this monster called crystal meth.
Meth, yeah.
And it has turned the world upside down. I mean, our world is going upside down. The communities, social threads, activities of daily living are all going wrong.
Yeah.
But boys, Diani are behind scene. Because I remember new from nowhere.
I think it's a world problem. Chinenge chichidiwa manje kana pasina ma institutions. You know, I worked in the Zimbabwean government, and I know these things just after independence. These things used to be controlled. Even ampicha iyo yaizorwa nemadzimai yaisapfuura paborder, yaibatwa to protect the health of our own people. But when we talk of erosion of institutions, this is what we are talking about. Because some people, when it comes to money, some people have got no boundaries, right? So it's the purpose, is the onus is on the state to put these penalties. And if you go to Asia, they don't really have they have the problems with crystal meth, but not on a scale that we are seeing in Africa, Europe, or America, because they don't tolerate nonsense. You caught in China, it's death sentence straight away. You caught in Indonesia, all Asia, Thailand.
Are we suggesting firing squad for any?
Yeah, firing squad, and you are gone. So we need
those kind of examples. Guys. We need those kind of examples.
No, that's exactly what we need. But what you find in Africa, you end up having politicians who are complicit in that trade. And in Africa, most politicians are untouchables.
Yeah, particularly in the last time I ended to Zimbabwe, I had a conversation in nevamwe vane organization inotry kubatsira vana vane addiction. The problem is vanhu vari authorities vacho, they are involved. Unonoudza kuti apa uyu ndo pane imba iri kuitwa drug dealing, havaendeko. Sometimes ndiwo unoenda apo wamuproblem iwo uri kuenda unoripota wacho.
Mizha izvozvo zviri kwese, we call it organized crime.
Shumba aigona kusapota zvinhu zvemamanga.
Aiwa ndiri kuudza reality.
Kana uri kutengesa mbanje, right? And you are known, the law must take its course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the law has to take its course. Kana tikaziva kuti pamba apa pari kutengeswa crystal meth, the law must take its course. Because pane selective prosecution and things like that. What's that?
Aiwa kandopenda abva kutaura makombe kuti problem iripo is when you've got my institutions asasashandi.
Yeah.
Ndo anoita kuti zvinhu zvirambe zvichiita worse.
Munoda kuti zviite more worse than it is at the moment. Zvinhu in critical stages in these boys.
No, we are losing a young generation to these drugs. And
soon we are going to have issues with employment numbers.
Yeah. I think we need short-term solutions, long-term solutions to this thing.
Right. In the West, we are now vachamapiwa izvi. And as a mental health practitioner, varukutaura imimi Pashumba, can you say your mental health? Can you say you are mentally healthy, Shumba?
I don't understand this question. Ndatichi ndozvotiri kuti handisi kunzwisisa mubvunzo wake.
Ndosaka ari kutaura kazi, as a mental health practitioner, can you say you're mentally healthy? Shumba uri mutano uri papfungwa.
Aiwa
Shumba ari mutano, otherwise we wouldn't be having him on the panel. he's a learned man, Saka, we respect his judgment on a lot of things. But seeing drugs, especially crystal meth, we need agent attention from all the respective quarters. Because prostitution, crystal meth, fambilana, suicide. Saka, hey, I don't know. I just don't know the way forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's an issue which, to be honest, for me, it's an institutional decay. It just shows the institutional decay. I think inotacha pazvinhu zvakawanda zvetiri kuona zvinoitika munyika medu, there are certain things that we allowed to go, like because apart from my drugs, we have got issues they used to clothing. Why should we be wearing that kind of clothing? Of course, we've got poverty, but Zimbabwe used to produce a lot of clothing for itself. But now we bring in this used clothing, some of it with diseases. And it mabero. Anofanirwa kunge asingapinde, ndozviri kungoitawo nemadrugs, anofanirwa kunge asingapinde, but there's no one enforcing these rules. Masystems atofa.
But ma-trainers are kupinda kama counterfeit trainers. Tukoona every other Tom, Dick and Harry anaro trainer reNike. Hatisi kuti jenas here kana kuti chi, but anaro.
Rimwe racho rinenge rabuda mubhero imomo futi.
Manje hatizozivi. Saka, like Shumba is saying, we need to revisit my structures. Anonza zvinhu zvacho, be it customs or immigration. We have got to explore what's happening in my systems here. Because I don't know one chair.
Tatotangira papi mai.
Aiwa, pari kuda kuiswa masystems waona ekuti munobatsira sei wabereki vane vana vari we have been taken over by this crystal meth. So it needs the government and everyone else to get involved so that we come up with a formulation of what we are doing. And then zvambotaurwa namakombe manje, we need to identify who are these culprits who are destroying the nation, because it's a national security issue.
Yeah.
It's a national security issue. Ndosaka tiri kutaura kuti ukaona wana China nana Thailand nana Indonesia, when they claim hard on this, it's because they know you will destroy all the young people if you are not very careful. And these are the people wanofanirwa kuti nyika irambe ichienderera mberi.
That's why I advocate for death penalty. Hang him high. You know you are right now. Because situation is out of hand big time. Because it cascades from the family unit right up to the employment sector. Because they are under the influence of illicit substances. Those of school going age and they've become violent and so on. So the thread of law and order is broken down.
Inawo iri kupiyawo ku Highfield vaitaurawo pane imwe nzvimbo isisatoendeka.
Yeah. So can you imagine, kana kwatone no-go areas because of drugs. And this is what we are advocating, kuti mapurisa should go and reclaim my areas akadaro, kuti we need some.
Yeah, but makombe munotaura mapurisa kana tichitaura kuti the hollowing out of institutions, because if you see the level of of corruption, whereby people are being paid to let those things just go through. Like you said initially, to say people know exactly who is doing it in the communities. So who is protecting them? And sometimes you report them. My stories etinonzwa ndeyekuti ukawaripota iwe maybe ndiwe unogumisira trouble.
Saka, we need a conference, we need a drugs and alcohol indaba. Because kuna wana blaza warugadzira otumbu atuya otuka illicit substances. Yeah. And tikushura mafesi to the point yekuti, you know,
ndosaka uchizoona kuna ana America they've got a special unit dedicated to drugs, like that DEA.
Yeah,
drugs enforcement agency. It's struggling with these issues.
Mind you, we are not even struggling with those institutions. Problem in the hatitorina edu. My institutions are not dealing with Sakadaro. Kanariko, they are either underfunded or underperforming.
Tinamoli Narudaro, she is connected. Can you make your comment and your contribution, Maureen?
Miss Nyamkapa wenda.
And umemda kumbotara umbo pamashoko.
Yeah, it's not pamashoko. There she is. She's back. Go ahead, Miss Nyamkapa.
No, Vango sa comment kuti she is connected. Sakandukutovati, can she add a comment kuti what her contribution to this topic at Utaranesa?
Are they not live? We're live. I think for these topical issues, sometimes I think if you can give them a connection where they can come live and
it's something else.
Yeah, because this is a serious matter that we need people to contribute to.
Yeah. It's a boys domestic violence. Awataura. Ndimkoma
Edmo. And guys, do not make the mistake enshrined in healthcare, focusing on symptoms and not cause. Drugs, alcoholism, and other societal issues are symptoms of what? So that's the question.
Mashuma mataura ipapa mkoma Edmo. The social fabric is
wataura hapana mistake yetiri kuita ndosaka taunza nyaya iyoyi panapo anditi
rega timbobvunza vachamapiwa kuti havasi kuda kupinda here tivatumire link.
Ngawapinda hapana ari kuita mistake. Isusu taunza nyaya iyi padare so that as Zimbabweans collectively tinovhiya nyaya yacho toona kana iwo waine mapoints ekuona kuti dai. I think what he's saying is true, kuti it can be symptoms, but it can also be institutional. Ma symptoms are kutaura ndiwe ekuti there is law, breakdown of law, there is breakdown of institutions, right? And then high unemployment rates in the country, frustrated young people who haven't got anything to do, so they find pastime using these addictive substances. So those are some of the contributing factors. But what we are also saying is we need, as a country, to come together to find solutions. Some of the solutions we are suggesting could people who are supplying these drugs, they should go per firing squad. Those are the solutions. Serious.
Because the way it's going, guys, every street corner, pane blaza ruputa mtoriro. Every street corner, pane blaza rutengesa mbanje. So what kind of a nation are we going to be? tikugumana naBlaza ari kuenda kubasa kwake aine kasutu kake ari kunzi mukoma ndipiwe dhora kuti atire mutori. Aiwa, that is out. We need to focus on that like ASAP, like yesterday. Makambozvinzwepi zvinhu zvakadaro kuti nyika inoita vanhu we just build a nation on illicit substances. Why and how? We don't need that kind of thing.
Saka memapinza imwe wamakombe manje.
Domestic violence. Chinondinetsa panyaya yedomestic violence chinhu vakadzi pavanorohwa nevarume, right? They tend to go back on their word. Unosanza kuti madhama wadhaiwa zveshuwa naBlazo, right? Over once, okay, dali mangwana iwe kuti tiri kuenda kunoripota. Unoripota wopuwa, police number kana kuti crime number. Mangwana anonyingererwa futi kunzi usadaro unoziva kuti ini ndiri mhofuka ini unoziva sometimes bia rinondikwadza ndinoteerera omuregedza. The same person, right? Mangwana acho anomuka, the same man akumboenda pasmall house yakati chambobuda ndikudzoka manje haatauri kuti vari kuenda kupi, muri kunzwa, haatauri, enda wakadza vacho havadiwo kubvunzwa because it has become a no-go area. Kwanoenda ikoko
vachamapiwa wapinde.
Okay.
Titambire vachamapiwa.
Vachamapiwa, how are you, sir?
Akaita wani mkawo alikuwa yake mkubabu ile kitu misiku mija ndimkanyo ini ndiri mkanyo saka mwabva maziziyezve
Saka pane makuduma iri pana.
Ko isusu anashumba manje tisu muka huru kaisu.
Lion King kai.
Lion King
aisiye kutamba nayo.
Anenge ari meno internet.
Ndikanchada pane signal nani.
Muri pane panani manje.
Yes, I think pandayo kana parinani. But mwamabvudza mubvunzo kuti ndamakombera aya makombe musanetsekana ndinotumburwa na umba makombe saka yasei.
Pakanaka ipapo.
Raita yani nayo wangu.
Muri kumuzikari guys. Munhu akadaro aunopuwi pfuma yako bheki iri pakadai yako.
Shumba hazvina kushata. I think mai vangu vanoberekwa nashumba saka yasefa.
Auoni manje. Auoni. Ndakuona nepesi yako.
Misha.
Iforoma ile hafu
mukati. Small mwaripa. Small mwada upinda.
Okay.
Mati Dr. Chamapiwa taurai masignal yenyu anonetsa kati contribute panyaya dzetiri kutaura idzi.
Oh yes, I thought ndakaita expecta from Shumbaka kuti mizve vanhu vase munhu ari muhealth ibibi munoziva kuti some of these issues I think they are best contributed to by people in the situation. Yeah, munoti understanding a need from the perspective of the user, right?
But we have gone beyond that, Dr. Chamapiwa. The situation is beyond that. It's beyond control. It's now an open debate for everybody.
I get it, but mukatora munhu ari kutora mutoriro. Most of them mafana vaistika vaya veka wozomubvunza kuti going down the aisle ndenda chandotangira papi. Now look at the situation where une mukadzi une vana hauna pekutangira wamuka makufenesi vakakutarisa vese. Some people basa racho hakuna kuzipapi. So society zvigananda iwo hauna connection nekuti uchigananda.
Zvigananda chii manje Chamapiwa?
Zvigananda chii manje?
Aiwa regai wataure imimi mhizha namakomba ikona kuita kunge musingazive zvigananda imimi.
Zvigananda vari mangu
ndo zvaita kuti wapana wedu washaye mabasa. Tikasagadzirisa nyaya yezvigananda hatigadzirisi nyaya yecristo meth.
Apana kwati, because when you look at it, I think it's in public domain kuti some of these so-called idols of the Zimbabwean society, they're involved in drug deals. By that I mean some people that our young generation look up to. Saka Zimbabwe yakaenda kumawere kuti munhu anofungidzira kuti being a chivayo or getting involved in madeals asanoitwa nana chivayo
aiwa Chamapiwa chingoti zvigananda chete
matukuba here. But because the say we clearly is in public domain. So when we're in public domain that are known for, you know, the senior
tenderpreneurs.
Yes. So that I mean, when we look at that, we don't know to another society at one strange thing I heard was somebody that told us in same for of who can convert level in the notion, I mean, for me, that's very concerning. Yeah. So when I look at it, from that perspective, I think, no, but this thing of them shows it with the functional economy, like China. Because my economies are to function. Then we can understand why they think the way they do, but not for Zimbabwe.
I totally agree.
But we've got a situation whereby the social fabric is collapsing.
Why is it collapsing?
It's collapsing because of politics, Makombe. Like I said, politics fixes the institutions. If you hollow out if you don't fix the politics, you hollow out my institutions.
Are we in a position to fix our politics?
Yes, we can. Collectively.
Yes, we can. Why are we not then?
Eh?
Why are we not there?
Yeah, because tichiri kuita politics dzedu dzema-election idzi petichamuka takuitwa sana Abraham Traore ka tonza munhu anobata chinhu nesimba achiziva kuti nyika iri kufanirwa kuenda upi. Tichimboita edu ma-elections hatisati serious.
So you mean by the time we get to a point where we say we don't want any more elections or we challenge the institution of democracy, we are ready to engage in whatever you want.
This is my unpopular opinion. I've always said, people have started talking about it. I've always said Zimbabwe, I've been singing this song from Pakaitwa GNU Pai. Because Zimbabwe needs a transitional authority, a non-political entity. Motombo isayeyo, politics aside, because the politicians we have, they are just coming into office to, it doesn't matter, it's the the main party or the opposition. People are just coming into politics for their own pockets. But if you create a transitional authority and you suspend politics in Zimbabwe for the next 20 years, whilst you are rebuilding the institutions, and then you are prioritizing the things that matter. Those na Dr. Chamapiwa kuti, in a country like China, in a country like UK, you don't mind some of the Ganandas, but in a country of like Zimbabwe, like mota dzine dzichipiwa dziya, are they generating any jobs down the line? There are no jobs being created. But tine a motor assembly plant, tetine Hyundai kwamtare, tetine Willowvale. If motors dziri kubva paWillowvale or kuHyundai kwamtare dzichicreate my jobs, I don't think there would be any issue about it. And those young people that Dr. Chamapiwa is saying, they would be working for Willowvale, they would be working for Hyundai. They put food on the table for their kids, so we don't mind them spending as much time or money where they spend their money. What we are saying, the country needs to be fixed first before you can have people exhibiting this kind of wealth in the public.
Yeah, mataura ipapo chero zvazoita nekahambishani
ongwashatirwa shumba
dzakadzashatirwa shumba
aiwa zvimwe zvinoshatirisa because ukatarisa talent nenyika yedu kaumanaka world over. If we tap into the talent in Zimbabweans and they are brought back home, to just say like Dr. Chamapiwa, like in the UK, the majority of Zimbabweans are into nursing. And if you tap into that talent alone, I used to advise someone in government, why don't you just say my nurses are in UK? More up a free holiday in Zimbabwe. But by the time they wanting to in Zimbabwe, mongoto titiro 1 week or 2 weeks in my hospitals. Murugu exchange afuti knowledge yawe yowainayo yokunoku yekuti zvinhu zviri kufamba sei. Anditi?
I think chikutenesa isusu chimwe infrastructure yedu yakati sarirei.
But infrastructure inetse because mota dzema MP nekutenga tutu.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pana Miss Mole wa mapinda.
Can you unmute yourself, Molin?
Molem.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, welcome, Miss Molem. How are you?
Thank you so much. Ndiri right. Muri munofara ere varume?
Atiri nani isu.
Tikanga tangotsigirwa namadzimai so tinobva tanzwa kudzirwa.
Hai.
Panaba, we are talking about social fabric. Yaparara because of Torino. Today is a break day where we speak about virtually everything and anything. So feel free to upscale your own topic, but for now,
okay.
Dr. Chamapiwa wakutaura utanzi imi muri kubata masymptoms hamusi kuenda kukhozi yacho shumba ari kuitawo zvekutsamwa apa meno vada kutorwa munhu but that's
saka ndakuenda then makobi watinyanyira
shumba
musaende yenyumba. I think ava vari kutaura kuti tiri kubata masymptoms vari right because tiri ngoendesa vana kurehab vachidzoka vanodzokera futi mutoriro imomo. What is the cause yekuti mutoriro unyanye munyika? Kuti here vana vari inactive, hakuna mabasa, kuti here hakuna entertainment for the ameno, but chii chiri kukonzera kuti musoro utende?
social fabric has collapsed?
No, but the social fabric, a lot of social fabric, it's because of poor governance. We don't need to run away from this. That's the hard reality. We have failed to lead our country, I mean, in every sense of the word. We have failed as Zimbabweans. It's about bad leadership. I mean, I mean, that's subjective.
But Dr. Chamapiola, we already know that there's some discrepancies in our structural entities. Saka tikuweza kutaura kuti at the end of the day zvoitwa sei? Imi muri kuramba muchingoti we should go back to the
to be frank, guys, even any organization, right, if you're struggling with leadership, we need new leadership, we need new ideas, we need young ideas. That's how I know.
We need new thinking, correct?
Sorry?
We need new thinking. New think tanks.
We need new thinking. Yes, and we need new people too.
But that's what Shumba was saying. We've got enough. We do have enough people to substantiate new think tanks. People who can facilitate the kind of change we need. But why are we not doing it?
Exactly.
What?
That's the
okay.
It's the politics, guys. That's the truth. Politics in Zimbabwe is really difficult. Every Zimbabwean, Aruma top post anywhere in the world, they really want to save their country.
Yeah.
But I'm reminded of Dr. Skosana Skosana, you know?
Yeah.
Ministerial post now, rightly so. This guy's got a talent. But the guy it's politics. It was a big heads off for him here to leave. That tells you a lot. So yes, you can see. To be frank, Zimbabwe, I'm proud of Zimbabweans. Chinese. But I always tell that you can't build Zimbabwe. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So then the question is, how can these people come and occupy this places? Like I think I have to confess. I don't meet people like Blessed Days. When I hear him speak, wow. He's this level, he's this rich. But because I knew about how eloquent he is until this time. So what that tells me is there's a lot in Zimbabwe, right? And I'm not moving to it. But I'm convinced that we have the only thing we need to do is we have to convince maybe people in authority today, can you not pass the baton to the next people? Maybe we have to do it rightly. Maybe we have to sit down, we have to negotiate. Maybe we don't have to use force either.
I don't think we would subscribe to any force at this point in time. I think one way say all agreed to Hondo is the wrong thing. I don't think so. I don't think Tupanangade, situations are.
But then the question is, are those in power ready or willing to relinquish power? Are they?
No, it's not a matter of relinquishing power, because I think it's just sending the message to them to say the society is broken. It's also we don't mind who fixes the problems that are there. If the current people in power listens to the people, to the needs of the people, and change the direction in which they are taking the country, then I don't think there is a problem there. The problem
Shumba,
is there's no one
you're saying, I mean,
listening.
okay, the lot we have right now need to change the way they do business.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're good to go. Yes?
Yeah, if they don't change, but what we are saying, if they listen to the people, if they listen to Dr. Chamapiwa suggests to say, no, listen, the system is broken here. We are losing a lot of young people. Like Zabunzwa Namole Mkuti. So what's the solution? Because people are going to rehab, but still coming to the same problems. But there seem to be no input, effort from those in power to really say we are addressing this issue. So what we are saying is the politics at the bottom of everything is the politics that's causing all this. The politics needs to be fixed. Because it's like you are running an organization, you are running OK. If OK fails, the buck stops with you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what we are saying, if we are in leadership, sort out these things that the ordinary people are grappling with, the society is grappling with. There should be severe punishments for people who are doing these things. But it seems like it seems like they just turn a blind eye to these things when people are speaking about it.
Ndidambudzoka kwamuri Shumba mambo ya ne suggestion yekuti makambo approach vamwe vanenge vane masimba mukavati ko hamuitiwo here zvekuti muise manesi achingoita on holidays. What was there? What vakapindura vachiti kudii?
No, sometimes Zimbabwe, I think inini I won't lie, I agree na Dr. Chamapiwa kuti politics dzedumpu is at the forefront of how we are doing politics now. People are not there to save the nation, but kana iwo ari kubenefita they don't really care what's going on the ground, what ordinary people are going through,
But on another level, right? Do these guys really don't care?
No, they don't care. They don't care because if they cared,
they are not getting the right message from the ground.
No, unaona pane leadership. Makombe, when you talk of leadership, and
yeah.
What I see with our politicians, they live in bubbles. It's not only an issue in Zimbabwe, but I can say it's across the continent. Ukaona the way these people are surrounded, I don't think they know the reality of what's really going on the ground. So ukaona wana Xi Jinping why anointeracta nema-farmers, anointeracta the ordinary people on the ground. You need that kind of kunzwa kuti ma-problems ane vanhu akaita sei and see how you can address them as a leader.
That's why we have MPs. So are we saying that the MPs are not doing their job?
Makombe ndozvendakakuudza kuti criteria yetinouse kupika those MPs, what criteria are we using? We spoke about it a few days ago.
That's only
hatuchaziva paya tichitaura kuti vanhu vari kungonhongwa, so hapana criteria yekuti munhu tichitaura nyaya yekwasmith iya yokuti ukatarisa vanhu vaipinda muparliament, it was not about color. Waitotarisana varungu kuti iri dofa haripinde muparliament. Waona, uyu ndokuvhuya mbudzi. Saka what we are saying is there should be a criteria. Munhu asati apinda muparliament, there should be some school where they go through to be drilled of the requirements. Mambotanga matarisa kuti iye anomita here the criteria of being an MP.
Like you said, was it yesterday, pamaite ku China, you don't become head of state unless wambo run a bigger metropolitan. kwese
that's
meya
true.
You can't be a president in China or can also run a big metropolitan area, because how can you manage 1.4 billion people?
Okay,
you see,
what's the blueprint for the way forward?
right
Twitter says, Rate was saying, we are all agreed that, I mean, we've got an
so I
elephant
wanted,
in there that
well,
needs
I wanted to
sorting.
comment. So I wanted to comment on China. You see, China is a very interesting case. Why I say so? Because China, they don't practice democracy. They practice meritocracy, which you guys are just defined. Where leaders are elected and appointed on rules. What is that achieved? So not only that we interview, also elected. Now the question is democracy the right system for Africa? I don't think so.
Naya, come on.
I don't think
Doctor-
Africa is ready for democracy.
Doctor, are you saying we are
So
operating
when we
on
come here, we argue on the basis of the democratic system. Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Are you saying?
Because
are
we
you
are arguing on
saying-
this on the basis of the Eurocentric system. Go ahead, yeah. Am I saying?
Doc, are you saying
Yes.
we are operating
Yes.
within the protocols of democracy? Muda kuntaura kuZimbabwe kune democracy. Those are muda kutaura.
That's Africa.
Those are the famous serious. China, they operate on meritocratic protocols. Go Zimbabwe, all right.
Not only Zimbabwe. I mean, the whole
Government of the
Africa.
people, by the people, for the people, right? Do people govern? No. Is the government for the people? No.
Okay.
Is the government by the people? No.
Okay.
so what are they?
They're just people. That's what you're saying. It doesn't work like that. Democracy is just a virtual fluid institution. It's a working definition.
My
Ensure that-
elections is just a. You know, that's why you find good by elections they are loved by politicians in Africa. It's a veneer to legitimize.
Yeah. So, I mean,
to
that's why we are
legitimize
getting to a point
their
where
rule. We did
understand
the
that
elections. We
elections
won.
don't work.
That's it.
Democracy doesn't work. Elections and democracy, they have to go. Those are the two lions in the house.
Yes.
And we are to blame as well, because
Yeah, we as the people,
we
are not
like
in a
these
position.
elections, but
Yeah,
to say we go back to see whether they are delivering for us,
We don't.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your measure?
Today, it took the president kutano vure mbare msika nasi. Mbare kwa kuchivurwa musika munyowano or something like that. Because zvanga zvine nharo dzakawanda kuti who does what and who doesn't do what. Thank God zvangovhurwa zvaita right. And the president, bless him, he has managed to pay the first rates for whoever wanenge watora mastalls mumusika imomo. Are you then going to say that's a democratic gesture?
No, never. You didn't tell me right. I said Africa is not ready for democracy. Now, that's what I think.
Okay.
And we can give you examples of successful systems where no people have different opinions in discuss. I believe Libya, under Gaddafi, under chief dictator, was a better country than it is today. Now, Libyans would never come to the UK. They would be paid. Once you Libyan, you get some money. Look at the richest country in the world, Congo.
Yeah.
The DRC is the richest place in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I want to talk about Namu.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because they've embraced this imposed democratic system. What the West, they imposed this governance systems on us.
Not only that,
kune
Mr.
yavari
Kimapiwa.
kutaura kawachiti kune unonzi positive corruption. Right? Positive corruption ndeyekuti imimi you benefit from what we are saying and you say nothing. That's exactly what happens.
They don't only do that
Yeah.
in Africa.
Why should they complain?
Yeah. They don't only do that in Africa, for your own information. Mu Europe munomu.
Yeah.
Ukaona to my young leaders mazhinji kubva kuna Tony Blair.
Yeah.
Wanenge wakadzidziswa through the foundation ekuAmerica, handiti? So when America has got Tony Blair or wana Macron waya ka, wanenge wachitoziva kuti they've got their voice on the European continent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So until we learn that game, this is all politics. From the ground level up, it's all politics. The failure of Zimbabwe is politics and governance.
Yeah.
Because it's the people that you put in power that determines where the country is gonna go.
Mori nadzoka ane shungu dzekucontribute.
Saka okay, ene tambopinda politics. Muri kuti here kana kusvika nyika yagadzirika politically mutoriro hausi kupera.
Aiwa mutoriro hauperi.
Uya neyakaipa.
Aiwa kutaura chokwadi mutoriro hauperi kana if you don't fix the politics.
Inini pandapinda mati muri kutaura nenyaya yemutoriro. Solution to mutoriro. Ndobva mazoti mutoriro uri kukonzerwa ne-bad governance.
Yeah, type of politics.
Politics. Saka kusvika tagadzirisa politics, mutoriro hapana kwauri kuenda.
That's my view.
Okay.
Boys, papa.
Aiwa hakuna kwauri kuenda.
Saka politics yedu tiri kuona here ichigadzirika kana kuti totongoviita zvedu vana vedu ndo pazvazvo.
Yeah. That's a very strong question inotaura Molemi.
Kutaura zvinorwadza, but to be honest, you know, ndosaka tiri kuti kana pasina governance yekuti, because governance inouya nema-institutions, pane pachida ma-institutions zvetiri kutaura kuti iko zvino mutemo unofanirwa kuiswa ndewekuti munhu wese ari kudistributa mutoriro must be short, handiti?
Yeah.
But ndiani achaenforce that law? If you are going back to those institutions.
Aiwa tiri kuzvinzwa izvozvo. Saka muri kuona here kuti politics yedu ichanaka here in the near future kana kuti
politics yedu haimbobviri yakanaka kana imini tiri pano tisingade kuenda ikoko, because hanzi bad governance ndo price yatinopeya when we the rightful thinking shy away from politics.
It's just we tend to forget kutika vanhu vatinoisa mupower ka ma-servants edu, they are civil servants. We forget that notion. Saka, as long as iwo ma-civil servants and they enforce what they want on us, then the whole system collapses. The whole system will collapse. Yeah.
Umba fonera ijimo turi 71 kubuza mutauri.
Aiwa varume mirai. Makombe vanhu vanenge vachikushandirai muri kutaura democracy.
Tutataura kuti
saka kana kusina democracy, these people aren't working for you.
Okay, who are they working for then?
Themselves.
Saka chakanaka zve.
Because zvavari kuita havasi kuita zvido zvevanhu nekuti havana kusarudzwa nevanhu.
Vakasarudzwa nani?
Vakangozvigarira vakambosarudzwa here. Hapana, apinda amudipo.
Aiwa, ndataura zviya ndikati politics dzedumbu. Ma-institutions hapasisina. Politics dzedumbu ndedzekuti munhu anoti kana apinda anoseva ma-interest ake nemhuri yake. Ndopatoperera politics dzacho dzese.
Munoona panonetsa ka. Ini ndopinda ndobva ndaita president. Murume wangu wamunoziva kuti baba ava havana kumbobvira vakaendawo kuchikora, havana zvavanoziva. Ato minister of health. mwana wangu wamunoziva kuti akatiza chikoro ari form 4 atoo minister of education. Hanzvadzi yangu wamunoziva kuti budha vanoita zvemutoriro vakutoita ambassador weEngland. Noti vanhu vari kushandira imimi. How are they working for you? Seriously, how?
No, they are not working for you.
Yeah,
Ndosaka ndichiti inini personally it might be disappointing, but I don't think we can fix anything until we fix the politics, because part of the problem yambotaurwa na doku panapa ndeyekuti these are symptoms of things that are happening. Kuti majority of our young people are unemployed. So where do they turn to? Arkuzama kuti daindaisa food on the table for my kids. Yeah. It's not happening. Yeah. And then next minute anenge akungomwa kamutoriro ikoko as an escape.
Isusu tiri kuno kuEngland kunonzwa tsitsi so varume vari kubva kuZimbabwe kana kuZimbabwe especially vari kuuya muno moscoti ndikuda hangu kuita care ndinofarira chaizvo kuita zvecare unotoziva kuti baba hava kunyeba inhamo. Ukaona vachitaura ndakatombochengeta sekuru wangu kupi kwamakachengeta sekuru baba kana mukutaura but nhamo yatikuita vakadaro ukodai kunyika kwedu kuri right varume vakadaro vari kushanda munyika medu mine infrastructure vari kushanda ikoko but nhamo yatisvitsa pekuti you are begging go and wash munhu kunogezesa mumwe munhu ndopa zvasvika.
Aiwa ndope zvasvika ipapo muri kutaura mutoriro mabva mabata a very important point yekuti dignity chaiyo. It robs you of dignity and because even some of us when we came we never thought. I remembered ndaitaura naMhizha ndikati pendakasvika kunoku I was so naive ndikati ndongotsvaga basa rangu rendaita kuZimbabwe ndakaita almost 500 applications. You don't get your job and kuno hawana basa kuti wakaenda kuchikoro wakaita sei, because some of the sectors they protect for themselves.
And out of desperation munoona vanhu vanozvipira kunofa vachichera tugoridhe mumurwizi.
Exactly.
Anditi saka ukaita nemunhu anokuti mutoriro ndine mutoriro ndikuita mari nemutoriro they are drawn to that.
But pakaipa koma being drawn to that
because mukatarisa makombe pane pamakambobva kumusha muchara kuti madzimai vari kuzvitengesa mustreet for 50 cents.
Yeah.
That's desperation. Those people could be teachers. Those people could be working somewhere. But desperation yamusvitsa pekuti ndoita sei.
Yeah. That's the power you get tonight.
Achitaura kuti inini ndotodriva benzi because ndotengesa madrugs. Unotengesa hapana zvekuita uchadini.
Aiwa desperation yakaoma because you know we always look
guys.
Tinotarisa masocieties edu tisingazive kuti munomu vanoprotecta. You know there are times when mafarmers emunomu like I said I'm in mental health. The biggest killer farmers in the UK at one time was kuzviuraya nema insecticides and it when things are not going wrong. The last time I was in Australia, there was because Australia had gone 6 years with a drought, and farmers were so desperate, they were losing a lot of money. They had loans from the banks that they had acquired, and my farms, they were being repossessed. A lot of them killed themselves, and so the environment shape my outcomes. Zvezvichitaurwa naDr. Chamapiwa zviya zvekuti if we tikafocus pamasymptoms chete kuti wana vari kurova mutoriro toda marehabilitation, you are not going anywhere. Achibuda kurehabilitation iwaya ari kudzokera futi kuye kumutoriro because those environment yakamita sei yakamusurround. But you need to look at a bigger picture with what's causing this. And for me, the elephant in the room is politics and the governance. Until we fix that, who's
Did you hear
continue
what
just giving
Doctor?
those
Did
programs.
you hear
They're not going away.
Did you hear what Miss Molem said?
Eh.
He said, "Are we waiting for politics to collapse so that we can start living?"
No, ndozvataurwa naMhizha kuti isusu wacho pakuungana kwetatoita ikoku ka, we are beginning that discussion, and that discussion includes fixing our politics so that it can batsira for us to secure the future of this generation, of the young generation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can I just something very, very You see, it's all of check for people on this panel, right, on this platform, to say we have poor governance, or we say people are not running the country right. And we, by reason of exposure, have known better systems. Now, at times when I look at our leaders back home in Zimbabwe, some of them have not had exposure. Chaakangokura achidziva ndechekuti ini kana ndichinge ndakura ndikuita mari yakawanda. Now I don't care, but kuti ndikunda kuti I've made it, I need to have a lot of money. Akaotoona kuti maziso akakuita inini, maonero ataakuita iko zvinezvi kudai akatirwa neexposure. But the type of leaders what we have in Africa, or our African leaders, or what we call our natives, some of them let this exposure. This is how does a proper system function? You know, that was it. And that's what we have for our leaders.
But Doctor,
I want to say, okay, guys, these guys are wrong. Maybe, and this may be the softer side of me saying, probably we need to actually hold them. Yeah, show them some respect. Maybe. I'm not saying this is working. Maybe we need to really sit down with these guys, say, okay, try out without shout down because you know some politics going on to. And I used to say to my president Mukatuka kukuru. Anozofunduka. Oita zvimwe zvinosirwa because mamutuka munhu mukuru. And I think for us, the current leadership, maybe, and I'm not saying it's going to work, but maybe if we show respect when we want to engage them, maybe, just maybe, they might change.
But I mean, there's
because
a school of
I think because they don't know any difference. Most of them
Saka Mr. Chamapiwa Doku ndimbokubvunzai, so are we entrusting human beings to run the country, or are we entrusting my institutions?
Human beings.
Because Panoniata a human being, if you don't build, mabvakutaura imimi mukati tagara munyika dzine masystems handiti. The system works because they understood kuti munhu ka, every human being, even whether you're black, yellow, white or what, inherently we are greedy.
Yes.
So the way they've put systems in the West or Kunana China, they put that power in institutions. The institutions hold people to account to say, before you do this, you need to do A, B, C, D. We are not leaving our the running of all these things to individuals to be the benevolence of someone. Because he can change his mind overnight to say, no, Shumba was talking rubbish. I want this thing to go ahead. But if you've got an institution now, it keeps him in track to say, no, you can't do that. It's like my ministers, you can't do that because it's outside the law. So until we go back to those basics, we don't subscribe to the benevolence of an individual in the office, but to the institutions of the state to hold people to account. I think that's when we start moving forward as a nation. The institution of the police should be able to enforce drugs. There's no tolerance of drugs in Zimbabwe. But now we are appealing to the goodness of the heart of those in the police force to do what's good. But there's any incentive here where they're probably getting money. So iwewe hausi kumupa mari kuti aite get rid of the drugs, but there's someone giving him money so that he can distribute those drugs. So the incentive system there doesn't work, and as a result you don't go anywhere. So we need to empower our institutions rather than individuals for us for the nation to work.
And I think maybe Dr. Chamapiwa zvawangu achida kuedza kutsanangura ndizvokuti izvo ma-institutions anodiwa, but kuti vanhu vari muma-institutions ayo titange kuvaudza kuti ma-institutions haasi kushanda. Sometimes panoda that level of respect of how to then to communicate with them, because we all agree that the institutions are not working, but for them to work, at least they need to start somewhere to either re-equip them or rebuilding them. But to start that conversation, that's where a level of respect and maybe a way of getting in is needed from.
I disagree. I think if we go down that route, it's another 100 to 500 years before we get there.
My examples are my institutions.
My institutions are things like the police is an institution on its own. The president's office is an institution. It doesn't matter who is the president, but the office itself is an institution. If you look at ukatarisa maborder agencies aya ese institutions, they are under the government, and then we've got like Wana Jairos Jiri, and then we've got the volunteer sector, my civil society, my institutions. Yes, you are Saka, let's say we create an institution, Panapa. We can start an institution, Zimbabweans against drugs, and it will be a civil sort of led institution that can lobby the government. The way things are going are not right. Do ABCD so that tinobatsira wana wedu kuti wabude out of this cage. So that's how, those are the institutions that I'm talking about.
Okay, saka ariko ezvinezvi ma-institutions haasi kushanda because of corruption. Is it because vanhu vari kumusoro vane too much power? They are policing themselves. Hakuna anybody to police them.
It's the interest now. Zvetiri kutaura kuti politics dzedumbu pedzakaipiraka. Munhu vanhu havasi concentrated on service delivery or even concerned about these young people who are dying, because all that matters is ari kudriver zimota rake around Harare, he's being seen, he's an MP, he's honorable, but what are you doing for the country?
Because is it because hakuna unotsiura, hakuna unokwanisa kuvatsiura?
Kunoti hapana ari kuvatsiura, and there's no accountability, there's nobody holding to account. And munoziva kunoku,
yeah, because one absolute power.
One absolute power. I remember munomuka. I'll give you an example. The assistant police commissioner of Manchester Munom was traveling from London to Manchester. I cheat over 100 kilometers per hour, and he was stopped by his juniors.
Wakamusunga.
He went to court. And the judge akati, iwewe, you should know the law better. So I'm sentencing you 6 months in prison.
Anditi Sunaka akabatwa asina seatbelt vakatomuisa mumabepa. Can you do that
Exactly.
na president wedu? Can you do that kumusha?
Ndozvendiri kutaura kuti kwedu, don't even go to the president's level. If the junior police officer akaona yeyo mukuru wake wemapurisa achiita mhosva, will they be able to address it?
No.
Yeah, so this is what we call hollowing out the institutions. Those institutions used to have teeth when we had our independence, but the way we have run them, we have hollowed them out. So now it's the individuals who are running those institutions. They feel like it's their own baby, you know.
Okay.
Awasisina any level of accountability. They're not accountable to anyone.
Vanoita zvavada nenguva yavada.
Nenguva yavada. Saka if you let kuti tichagadzirwa nyaya yemutoriro nevanhu ivavo, unless isusu manje from the outside we form zvendiri kuti tikafoma yeyo, let's say Zimbabweans against mutoriro, anditi, and then we go now then to lobby the parliamentarians, the government, to say, no, this is enough, it's gone too far, we need this sorted. Then maybe, because one vachiziva kuti this is a thing that is at the heart of every Zimbabwean, maybe then they will start acting. That's my own take on it.
Doc, what's your take on that?
But so for me, as far as Zimbabwe is concerned, yes, institutions that point that take on board. However, I think all power is centered around the office of the president. So if there's no new power from that office, right, to give teeth to these institutions, it's not going to happen. If there was new power from the highest office, right, to equip these institutions with surely the government. So again, for me, when I look at the kind of the highest office, which needs to have the will power. And so, guys, but putting some water, not that they are part of the president. You know what I'm saying? And it's really like that, then everybody will want to that's and I think they are going to make the same system they didn't know that because he was untouchable. Because he knows the office of the president will not be audited. Again, there was a problem. So there should be that willpower. And it's not a Zimbabwean problem, but several African countries where the highest office cannot be audited. It cannot be challenged. It has absolute power, like some people have said. And for me, that's the problem with our African government systems here.
Right. We have been here for more than an hour now. We need to wind down and maybe agree on some action plans from some sort. I think this
Action
issue
plan.
well, this or maybe an action plan would be. I think this thing needs to be explored further.
Yeah, this is the beginning of effective brainstorming, if you ask me. Yeah, we need to brainstorm further.
No,
because we are not looking for a political solution, Governor. We're looking for a workable solution. Right. The symptoms are you need to go back to basics and identify. We need to explore that. Because we're not politicians, guys. We're just ordinary people who want something nice.
I think we are trying to be political here when we say we need to explore. The Zimbabwe situation is just in the office. We know why we are where we are. There's nothing to explore. My challenge is there. But challenge is Zimbabwe and Africa. This is not zero.
So why Doctor, why are we not resolving them then? Can I share here?
We don't have authority. We don't have power.
Authority
That's
from
honest
where?
truth.
From who?
Why not to
The people have the mandate. Remember, government of the people, by the people, for the people. What are you doing?
Yeah, politics, yeah, ma'am. It's open the
No. It's also okay. Let's agree on one thing. We are not politicians, but we want to bring to the table correctional structures, right? Isusu tikutadza kuenda deep down pasi pezvinhu zvamuri kufunga kuti zvinofanira kuitika. Zvamuri kuti zvinofanira kuitika hazvisi kuitika. Sei zvisi kuitika? That's where the problem is.
Guys, this system has been there for a very long time. It's not one that is going to be I'll say the mother trying to deal with this in a very short set of time. I subscribe to the idea of transmitting if I were to ask how would you rather have it, I would say I probably need somebody with dictatorial attributes, the likes of Kagame, to come and run that authority.
Kagame.
Why
do we need Kagame? The equation of correction is based on how we do it, why we do it, where we do it.
What Chamapiwa is saying, we need an alternative. This is why I suggested
alternative Kagame.
No. Listen, Kagame is not gonna come and Gutonga Zimbabwe. What he's saying is we need a character like him, the character like Ibrahim Traore. For me, the alternative.
Sakaka. Saka, why are we saying we need characters like Chakuti? Tinaoma characters.
Like
chirikutibata ifie.
Ifie yataura.
Ndo chirikutibata. Not kuti hapana macharacters. Aripo.
Yeah, aiwa ifie.
Yeah, ifie. Yes.
Because ukadatarisa wawana Ibrahim Traore ipapo, he took a risk for him to be where he is. So ifie, he's very right. But kana tikuda kubvisa fear is ndozvende ndichitaura inini my solution is a transitional authority.
Yeah.
Yekuti ine mandate, inopuwa mandate yekuti wanenge wachiziva kuti hawasi mapresident kana kuti chi for 20 years munobva manyora pasi kuti leadership icharoteta pawanhu wakati anditi until 20 years dzapera idzodzo tochiita maelections edu aya manje but nyika inenge yaita sei yawakwa, education yedu yaitwa prioritize, healthcare yakushanda, wana matapi tapunza tawaka dzimwe dzimba. Honestly, you see, unoona hanzi matererini ngatigadzirise, ndikati munogadzirisa chii papa? Yeah, in some countries those buildings are condemned and destroyed. Yeah? We have been robbed dignity. You come here, mabasa ungosingambofunga kuti ungafa wakaita basa iroro unozogozviwana wai mumu. And isusu tiri kutarisa mutoriro, but that's for us it's a version of mutoriro kuti munhu ari kuuya, munhu angari manager kune imwe company. You know, I had an instance mumwe muchinda wedu so my brother was anoita zveproperty, saka ototi mumwe musi so asvika pamba paya kuri kunaya, ona gaya akagara paye near his doorstep, ari kunayiwa, ari kudya a piece of bread. Zvikanzi are you okay? Zvikanzi Yes, I'm not okay, my brother. Shigans, what's the matter? Shigans have been living in the streets. He's from Nigeria. Akoya nema COS UII. Auya kuno basa ku Nigeria he was a teacher. Auya kuno basa ringatamba. Vanhu vakamunzwa vaingoda mari chete, and then they left him to his own thing. The guy, he said, I've been everywhere. I've been sleeping in churches, in the streets and everything. You see, your dignity has already been robbed, but
Eroded, yeah.
that's the politics of Africa, unfortunately.
Okay, Dr. Tamapio, your last word?
My last word, the future for Zimbabwe and Africa is we could learn from the likes of China, where everybody who thinks from the state is the highest form of conflict. Where China, and this is why China is where it is. Nobody dreams of sitting from the Chinese state. You know, for Africa, the state is a business model.
Yeah. Okay, well said. Mrs. Molem, your last word?
Pakaoma apa handizivi kuti toita sei, nekuti kunze kwokuti tatotanga patsva, kutanga patsva pacho vanotangika chirudzii. Matimi kune vanhu vanozvigona but vari kutya kuenda kunotungamira, inotodii?
Yeah. Shumba, the Lion King, your last word, sir?
Yeah, I think isusu wacho we are the change that we aspire. Saka kana tikaramba tichingotaura nyaya iyi tichiunza vamwe, I think for drugs I should think kuti let's form a pressure group from outside the government that can actually start lobbying these MPs and the president and whoever and the police to say we cannot tolerate this situation anymore. And then we take, that's a short-term measure. But if politics doesn't fix it, then we need to look at a long-term plan of how that the politics can be changed.
Thank you. Right. From me, we are all saying we need to fix the politics. It's a question whether it is matter that could happen or may never happen in our lifetime. We have a generation that is dissolving right in front of us. How are we going to do it? We remain spectators relating to what is happening in front of us. What are we going to do? When are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? And where are we going to do it? From me, that will say all.
Thank you very much, everybody, for this interesting and exciting discussion. And I think the honors is on us. And I think Maureen summed it up well when she said, if we wait for the politics to be fixed, which means we will be burying our youth. And I think that would take away the fear from us, so that we can put in the correctional structures, as Mr. Makombe said, which can bring us to the root cause, not the symptoms, as Dr. Chamapiwa said, and Shumba is actually articulated that we need to start thinking about pressure groups. And I think we can be the starting point of that pressure group. For me, from Champions Network TV, thank you for watching, and thank you for all the panelists that managed to join us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.